Welcome back from that break, and you're still watching Digital Science for You. Now we get to head back to the lesson where you'll be learning plenty more. We will see you right after the lesson.
This is another example which you can try out if you have this system with you. You go ahead and try to plot these values. Yes, after plotting these values, draw the frequency distribution table. The frequency distribution table, you go ahead and draw your histogram as well as the frequency polygon. If I show you the answer, this is how it comes out. This is our histogram for data. And we can connect along the frequency polygon, along the middle of those bars. You can connect and form a frequency polygon. That's our data display. Next, we can go to the next example. And this is the last example. I'll leave this for you. I will not show you the answer here. I'll leave it for you. But if you have access to the system, you can go ahead and look at it, try it out, do the same thing. Where you see show answers, you click and you'll be able to see the answers. I'd like to quickly take you to the ogive, or the frequency, or the cumulative frequency curve. So we shall go on to the cumulative frequency table first. Now, to cumulate data, it means you're adding. Cumulation. You add from one, you go on adding something, you add on something, that's cumulation. In Uganda, before we had once a few million people. Then they went on to 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. We're closing it to 50 million. The cumulation of the data. In your family, your parents begin out as two of them. Then someone adds on. Then you add on. Then another adds on. That's the cumulation of data. So, cumulation means you're adding onto something. And we're going to see how to draw a cumulative frequency table. For you to draw an ogive, you can't draw it unless you have cumulative frequencies. Are we together? You must have cumulative frequencies in your table. The first table we had for a frequency polygon and the histogram only had the frequencies and the data, the number of students or the weight. Instead here, we are going to formulate another table there, another line, which shows us the cumulative frequencies. Now, if we begin with 5, to cumulate, we add 15 onto the 5 to get 20. The frequencies keep on adding 45, 25 onto the 20, 45, 22 onto the 45, 67. Then 18 is added onto 67 to get us the next value, which is 85. 15 is added onto 85 to get us the next value, which is 100. Now, if I pause here, okay, at that step, if you look at the data, that line of cumulative frequencies, you're going to see that that data keeps on adding onto the data. That's what we call cumulation. Unless you have a column for cumulative frequency, you cannot draw an ogive curve. Are we together? For instance, in last year's UNEB, they brought for you the cumulative frequency table, but it was lacking the cumulative frequency column. So it was upon you to understand that you have to draw it and to be able to draw the ogive. Are we together? Good. So we can see how to draw the cumulative frequency curve. While for the histogram, we're using the frequencies. In this case, we use the cumulative frequencies. So we draw our cumulative frequencies with, if I can pause this right here, I'm going to plot the height with the cumulative frequencies. Now, when I'm plotting, I plot on the upper class limit. Don't plot in the middle, don't draw a bar, don't plot on the side, don't plot on the lower, plot on the upper limits. The upper limit for this one, 0 to 5, if I can take this one back a bit and you see this, 0 to 5, let me take this one back a bit so you can see where it starts from. I'm going to replay starting from where it starts from there. If I take it back a bit there, then I play, and you're going to see I plot on 5, that's why I plot the cumulative frequency of 5. Then on 10 is where I plot 20 and etc. So starting with 5, I'll plot 5 with 5 because cumulative frequency for 0 to 5 is 5. Next one, I'll plot 10 with 20. Cumulative frequency for the class of 5 to 10 is 20. Next will be 10 to 15. Its cumulative frequency is 45. 45 plotted on 15 on the upper class boundaries, not middle, not lower, not that. 25 with 85, then 35 with 100. After drawing all these, I go ahead and connect them smoothly with a smooth curve. Now, for a frequency polygon, we had to meet each point. In this case, we draw a smooth curve that comes out forming a sigmoid shape like that. It's like an S shape. You just move your hand freely. Please move your hand freely. Do not put the hand, not try to meet all the points. As long as it's a curve, it gives us the ogive. This ogive helps us to get the median. Yes, like we're going to see in the next clip here. Estimated frequency is a way of getting data and helps us to get the median of the data. The median of the data is where the data lies, the middle of the data. The display is a lot, but where is the middle of that data? Yes? So if we have to place the median, we're going to see how we get the median. This is an example. It talks about the heights of sunflower or the heights of plants. So this is our like the previous example. We had this data and we have this curve drawn already. Now in the middle, the highest frequency here, if I pause this, the highest frequency here is 100. So if I get that 100 and divide by 2, I'm going to land at 50. Yes? Now the 50, I draw a line. Where the line meets the ogive, the curve that I drew, is where my median will lie. So on reaching that line, I move downwards, and down is where I find my median. The median is a number that's got from the height. Don't get it from the CF. Cumulative frequency is just how many are there, though it is cumulating. While the median is the height. So we go to the median line, then we go downwards and get the height. So if we move downwards, that point where it's meeting, we move down and we come and land at 16. That's our median for the data. If we are to continue the next clip, 16 meters is our median for the data. Next clip, we can now put values here. This is an example, an activity which you can do. If you're at home and you have a laptop which has digital science near you, you can go with me and we begin putting data values here. You can put your values that you want. I can also put values that I want here. Frequencies. If 0 to 10, if I decide to put there 2, 0 to 10, then 10 to 20 I can put there 4. Then 20 to 30 I can put there 6. 30 to 40 I can put there 10. And I can put there 10 on 10. Let me put 10 here on 30 to 40. I'll put there 10. All right. Up to 9. Oh, okay. Now have you seen that? Digital science is guiding us. It's telling us that you must limit your frequencies to 9. Yes? So you cannot put 10. You cannot put a number bigger than 10. That means let me put the highest number which is there, which is 9. Yes? If I put 9 there, the next one I'll put 8. Next one I put 7. Next one I put 2. And the last one I put 1. Now these are my frequencies. You see, if I have frequencies only, I cannot be able to do what? To get the cumulative frequency. To get the cumulative frequency curve, I must go ahead and get the cumulative frequency column. Yes? Which frequency column I can now use, you can now also try out with me. Mine, I began with 2, so I'm going to cumulate 2. I add a 4 onto the 2 to get my next one, which will be 6. And then I add 6 plus 6 to get me 12. I add 12 plus 9 to get me, yes, to get me 21. 21 plus 8 to get me 29. 29 plus 7 to get me 36. 36 plus 2 to get me 38. 38 plus 1 to get me 39. Then I check if my cumulative frequencies are correct. That tick tells me that they are actually right. If at all I had made a mistake in my cumulative frequency, there would be an X there. There would be an X, meaning it is wrong. Then I would be able to go back and check my work and rectify it. So I go ahead and now plot these values with cumulative frequency. 2 and 2, I plot it here, and I plotted that one, it's already there. Then I go ahead and next one, you go back to check. I go back to check here. Next one, I plot 4 and 6. That one matches the frequency and cumulative frequency match. I go and plot 6 and 12, 30 and 12, then 40 and 21, then 50 and 29, then 60 and 36, then 70 and 38, then 39 with 80. That is my last one there. After that, I plot a very smooth curve using this symbol plot here. If I place plot, it comes out with a very good curve. Which curve I can still use to get the median. Note that I've been using the upper class boundaries, not the lower class, not the middle. Are we together? Yes. Okay. I can reset these values and I can try out as many examples as possible. So this one is our ogive curve. Now, if you want to learn further, you can go ahead and look at the quiz and be able to learn more. You go ahead and teach yourself using the quiz. So let's go and see. Down here, you see the notes. There's glossary and then there's quiz. If I look at the notes, I can still press the notes and I look at the notes about this. Enter each frequency up to 9 and capture the cumulative frequencies. These are the notes about the information. The notes are part of our data. They are part of the digital science. They are in there. So you just have to check, click notes for every slide, and you'll be able to get the notes about that information. If you want to run the quiz, then you go ahead and go to the quiz and check ourselves under quiz here. We can go to either learning mode or test mode. If I want to just learn, I go ahead and use learning mode. Now, if you're a senior 4, you have already done this topic, so you can go to test mode and test yourself. Based on number of examples, you test yourself in how you can do. If I'm going to use learning mode, I come here. The following table gives me the height of 60 people to the nearest centimeter. 100 to 800, then there are values which are missing here, cumulative frequencies. So this was teaching me how to get cumulative frequencies. From 2, 5, 9, 16, 28, those are the frequencies, cumulative frequency. Remember we said we add, we cumulate. So 2 is the first one, 2 plus 5 gives me 7, then 7 plus 9 will give me what? 7 plus 9 will give me 16. So I come and look at 16. If I come here to the check button and check, it will show me that that's a correct answer. If at all I add wrongly and I get a wrong value, it will show me that's a wrong answer. If I want to get the explanation, I can just come here and I click on that. It will tell me the explanation. First you have 2, then you have 2 plus 5, then 7 plus 9, up to the last one. You keep on adding. Therefore, my answer is 16. I can also go to the next example. There are so many examples that you can try out. Ogive is the other name of, this is the common thing. Sometimes we set ogive, sometimes we ask it as a cumulative frequency curve. Yes? For instance, if I put the answer as frequency polygon and I check, if I check, it will tell me that it's wrong and it will give me the answer as cumulative frequency curve as my right answer. Are you together? That is, if you're asked to draw the ogive and you're asked to draw the cumulative frequency curve, they are all the same thing. This you can all learn under digital science. This is just a bit of it, just a tip of the iceberg. If I go deeper, the entire digital science, you'll be able to learn much better the mathematics. And it wouldn't be boring at all. You'd actually enjoy the subject. Yes? Thank you very much.
That's been it from Digital Science for You. Now remember, Digital Science for You is the show, while Digital Science and Virtual Lab is the software which you can access via our main offices in Lugogo, via the Uma Show ground, and also students. You get to learn this easily. As for the teachers, you get to teach with no hassle. You can also follow us on our Facebook and Twitter. That is at CSTSUG. And you can also access us on those telephone numbers right below your screens. I've been your host, Nicholas Noah Travubi. Until next time on that episode from another subject using Digital Science and Virtual Lab.